7 things you say to your baby that silently break their trust, backed by science. You may think your baby doesn't understand your words yet, but science says something very different. From the first few months of life, a baby's brain is forming over 1 million neural connections every second. And what shapes those connections the most? Your voice, your tone, your response. This is the foundation of something psychologists call attachment theory, the emotional bond that determines how safe, secure, and loved your child feels. Not just now, but for life. And surprisingly, small everyday phrases can either build that trust or quietly break it. 1. Stop crying. Crying is not misbehavior. It's communication. Research shows that babies cry to signal hunger, pain, fear, or overstimulation, not manipulation. When consistently ignored or shut down, stress levels rise. This triggers the hormone cortisol. High cortisol over time has been linked to increased anxiety, sleep disturbances, slower emotional regulation development. A landmark study by Harvard Center on the Developing Child shows that responsive caregiving lowers toxic stress and helps build a healthier brain. When you say, "Stop crying," they don't learn calmness. They learn, "No one is coming." 2. You're fine. It sounds harmless, but imagine feeling scared and being told your fear isn't real. Even infants as young as 6 months can detect emotional mismatch when what they feel doesn't match what they hear. This creates confusion in their developing brain. According to American Academy of Pediatrics, validating a child's emotions helps build emotional intelligence and trust later in life. When their feelings are dismissed, they begin to question their own internal signals. 3. Why are you like this? Your baby may not understand the sentence, but they feel the energy behind it. Studies in early childhood development show that babies are highly sensitive to facial expressions and vocal tone. Negative emotional tone activates stress responses in the brain. Over time, repeated exposure to frustration can impact self-worth formation. Instead of feeling safe, they start feeling like something is wrong with them. 4. Be quiet. By 6 to 9 months, babies begin experimenting with sounds, babbling, and early communication. This stage is critical for language development. Research shows that babies who are spoken to more frequently hear up to 30 million more words by age 3 compared to those who are not, a concept known as the word gap. Silencing them repeatedly doesn't just affect noise, it affects brain wiring for speech and confidence. 5. I don't have time. Of course, life gets busy. But for a baby, time doesn't exist the way it does for adults. What they understand is presence or absence. Even short moments of unresponsiveness can activate stress. But here's the good news. Studies show that you don't need to be perfect. You only need to respond appropriately about 50 to 60% of the time to build secure attachment. This concept, developed by Edward Tronick, shows that repairing missed connections is just as important as making them. Still, repeated emotional absence can slowly weaken trust. 6. Big boys/girls don't cry. This phrase doesn't teach strength, it teaches suppression. Long-term studies link emotional suppression in early childhood to higher risk of anxiety, difficulty expressing emotions, lower emotional resilience. Babies need to learn that emotions are safe, not something to hide. 7. Ignoring them completely. This is the most powerful one. In the famous still face experiment, a parent interacts normally with their baby, then suddenly becomes expressionless and unresponsive. Within seconds, the baby becomes distressed, tries to reconnect, eventually shuts down. This shows how deeply babies depend on emotional feedback. Silence in these moments isn't neutral. It's overwhelming. Powerful. Closing. Your baby won't remember your words. They will remember the feeling behind them. Because long before language, there is connection. Every time you respond with warmth, You are building trust. Every time you pause, soften your tone, and show up, you are shaping their brain, their confidence, their future relationships. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present enough. Because in their tiny world, you are not just a parent. You are their entire sense of safety.